Excellent. Okay. Motion passes as much as it can do at the moment. Grand. Right, we'll go back now to rural transport, and this one was proposed by Kat. Anyone?
Hello again. This motion is about rural transport. Obviously, we're in Inverness right now, which isn't as rural, but there are many, many students who live in very rural situations who have the shoddiest transport I've ever had the bad luck to experience. For instance, to get to Salmarostig, one time I had to get a train to Kyle, wait an hour to get a bus to Broadford, and then wait another 2 hours to get a bus from Broadford to the college. It's and these situations aren't unusual. And basically, we also put out a press release that a lot of us looked at and went, yeah, it looks great, fine. That said, basically what this motion says, that we'll chat with the university, we'll chat with providers like Stagecoach and where necessary, like ferry services and whatnot, and try and negotiate a better deal for students when they're travelling, and making sure that like 75% of your bursary isn't taken up on buses that have like 2 hours between them. And it also means that, for instance, in places like Sam's, I do believe you have like one bus there in the morning to the college and one bus back in the afternoon, so it doesn't matter whether you're in classes or not, you are there for the whole day. It kind of just makes sure that we can start working with those agencies to make sure that students have better transport links when they're going to college or university, and again, not wasting loads of money on a service that is quite frankly substandard. So thank you.
Cheers, Kat. Grand. Do we have any points of clarification?
Scott, I almost walked away before this. Oh, we have Lewis Castle.
Yeah,
Report it.
Here. I spoke with Ian Lang, who's one of the directors at Stagecoach Signaling Buses about 18 months ago. Proposed a deal for UHISA, we got nowhere. I think we're both in this week's Times Educational Supplement about, NUS is starting to do proposals already, things are already moving. I think that just to be noted.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, I think that's great. I think the other thing to note as well, though, is that those conversations were had 18 months ago. We're in a vastly different culture. We have new SABs, probably that transport company has had increases that are probably, I can almost guarantee, above inflation. Like, we're operating in something that's different than we operated in 18 months ago, so I don't think it negates the need for the discussion to be had again. Hiya.
And it's just something that it's not, when it comes to rural areas, there's not so much as bus company, it's more the local council that supplies a supplement, because rural services always run at a loss, and it's the local authority that makes the difference. Something that sort of mean more of the Highland Council you should be talking to, and not the Stagecoach managers.
Yeah, cool.
We do have an amendment to this one, so I think we'll move on to the amendment. Try and move on quite quickly. Do you want to do that, the amendment first? And then okay. The amendment was to move UHISA believes 1 and 2 into UHISA further believes, as these are more opinions rather than facts, and to insert UHISA believes NUS is currently researching the issue of rural transport, and UHISA has already responded to questions about rural transport for the Times Education Sunday Supplement. Right, okay. Can I have a speech in favour of that amendment? Oh, there's another. Right, okay, sorry, there's another one. The amendment continues to remove UHISA Resolves 1 and to insert that UHISA will support the NUS transport research to gain a national solution and ensure UHI's the Highlands and Islands are factored in. Okay, is everyone happy with that? Hearing, you understand what that amendment is, what we just discussed there, and now can we have a speech in favour of it? Thank you.
Okay, so the reason for moving UHISA believes into UHISA further believes is that these are, I believe these to be opinions rather than facts, and to insert the beliefs, it shows that there are other people that are already researching this, so NUS already has a campaign on this, and that UHISA has already initiated a little bit of action. We do need to do more, but we have already, we've acknowledged the issue in our consultation with the Times Education Supplement Sunday, and to adjust the resolves from
UHISA should negotiate a better solution for student travel with relevant agencies. I just do not think we have the capacity to do this. We cover more than half of Scotland in our geography. That is a lot of sabbatical time, which I think could be put to much better uses. Especially there's the NUS campaign, and by supporting NUS, they have a louder voice than us. They are a collective for all the students that are affiliated in Scotland. They can do things on a national level. We cover half the geography, like it's going to have a big impact on us. And just ensuring that the unique features of the Highlands and Islands are factored in, we can maximise the work that they're doing and still use our own time for benefiting students in other ways.
Cheers. Are there any points of clarification on the amendment itself? Not the motion, but the amendment. Okay, do we have a speech against the amendment?
I feel this is going to be a theme. Yeah, I mean, again, like I can see the point. To remove UHISA Resolves 1, like basically it's talking about negotiating. Negotiating is sitting down and having a chat with someone. Like negotiating is not devoting like 17,000 hours of time to it. And I don't think we'd make any progress if we didn't negotiate with relevant agencies. Like, oh yeah, we think students should have more travel. Oh, who have you chatted to about it? No one. I don't think that's a way forward. Like with the better uses of time, I'm not quite sure what those better uses are. Like I'm really honestly have to say, I'm going to put in a small bit at the end of this, but I really don't think that saying student travel is not the best use of our time to be working on it is a great thing. Like if you can't get to uni at a reasonable time in the morning, or like your travel is significantly affecting your ability to work outside of uni to support yourself, or even your ability to get to classes and home again without like having to crash in a common room that might not even exist at some campuses for like 5 hours. Like I don't think that is a irrelevant conversation. I think it's something we need to have and we need to act on. I do get the points about the geography, though it's going to be difficult. So there's ways that we can do this. We can do it like a region at a time. It can be a lengthy process. We can put some sort of plan about how we're going to do it. But I definitely think that the amendment isn't quite well thought out enough in terms of its arguments. And also, like, I'd just like to say, like, I think we are quite argumentative during motions. I think that's a good thing. I think that student council is the time to argue, as long as once we are done arguing, we can go forward with a sustainable message from all of us and work together on that. So let's disagree as much as we like, but after this, like, don't worry, we are going to settle down and just get on with what you guys have decided. Thank you.
Perfect. No, exactly 2 minutes as well. Thanks, Kat. Okay, does anyone else have a brief speech in favour? I'll give them a minute. Yeah?
Yeah,
and this is in favour of the amendment?
Yeah, I think definitely take it out. I think that to work alongside NUS opposed to sort of going against them away with the original motion, especially that Stagehold isn't just a Highlands company, it's a nationwide company. So with NUS, they're going to be talking nationwide, they're going to be at the very top of Stageholder's management, which is the sort of largest one here. So that's going to have a lot more impact than just speaking who a regional manager here is putting up in the seat permission from further enough anyway.
Can I make a small point of clarification on the NUS research?
Yep.
The NUS research, because it's national, we will be significantly underrepresented within that research. And with often what they do is they say, like, if you get a certain number of responses, we'll give you a piece of research tailored to what your student said. But there's no guarantee of that. There is basically what could happen is we get a generalised statistic for the entire country that might not even apply to us. So I think that we would be playing a risky game just to do it the NUS way. Like, I think our issues are specific to UHISA. They're not unique, but they're more enhanced. And the issues we have are specific. So it needs to be that UHISA that's chatting about them and researching them.
Cheers. Yeah, any other points of clarification before we just wrap this bit up? Sorry, Elizabeth.
Is there a possibility of suggesting another amendment to this after we finish talking about this amendment? Different amendment?
Amendments were meant to be submitted in, but I know there's a time issue, and I'm just wondering if actually it's worthwhile. What we might do, we'll probably just leave it for now, and then it could be referred to the executive if there's any other issues that we need to take forward thereafter. But only just because we're running quite short on time now.
It's quite concise, and I've written it, and I know that it's just modified.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay,
Lydia, just to let you know, everyone's core it now.
Awesome, brilliant. Thank you.
Lydia.
Of course, yeah. Okay, so hang on, I'll come back to you in a sec. Scotty.
Just to clarify, I was at NUS Change Today campaign on transport on Tuesday. I've spoken with Mike Heffron. They will be launching a national campaign on at Zone Conference at the end of the month. We will very much be included, and there'll be a national picture and local tailoring. I don't think it's something to worry about.
Okay. Sorry, so if we just wrap up that point, have we got you and then?
Just to say, I dispute that we are underrepresented in NUS. At the gathering, as you will have seen in my president report, we had a huge delegation. Just about every photo on the NUS Scotland's Facebook page had somebody's t-shirt in there saying UHISA officer. We made a big impact. We're making an impact on a national level because of our presence at events, and that's why it's important to be sending people to events. And our executive are involved and they're attending these events, and we are being recognised.
But that would translate into research because it's the actual students who need to complete that. So we can go as many events as we want, but if the students aren't filling in the research because they don't want to, we're going to be underrepresented, and I highly suspect that's my fault.
I think that because it's such a large issue that's going to be the opposite case, because I think more than anything we're going to be the model for rural transport because we have so much rural space that services cover.
Okay, thank you.
I was just wanting to say something against the amendment, just in the sense that I think leaving it for someone else to try and sort out is maybe not the best answer. There's nothing wrong with us and NUS making a case for NUS to make a case nationally to the really high echelons, and we can go to the local sort of bosses and make our point across as well. I think it's something that is worth spending time on because it is a big issue.
Okay, this is, I'm conscious of the time, and I think we've moved from sort of points of clarifications to comments against. So is anybody just want to go straight to the vote on this, or is anyone really passionate about having another for against, because we haven't had a formal against? So anyone want to speak formally against for 1 minute? Okay, so we're going to go for a vote specifically on this amendment. Can I please have anyone in favour of the amendment?
Come on, we have that.
It's a democracy.
That's forcing you can't.
Stephen on this side of the room. For the amendment on BC? For on BC.
15.
15 for, and against the amendment, please?
4 on this side of the room. 1 on BC.
11.
Against, and anyone kindly abstain?
Two and 2, 4.
4.
4 abstaining. So in that case, the amendment is passed. Okay, Elsa, go. Sure. Could you start by reading out your proposed amendment?
Well, yeah, my proposed amendment, just listening to both sides here and looking for kind of middle ground, was to change the first one. So UHISA believes 1, to change is both 2 to just can be. So travel can be expensive and irregular, affecting students' ability to study. So I felt that covered everything everyone was just saying, and I then felt to strike number 2 completely. And then in the resolves, just to add in work alongside NUS. So it reads that UHISA should work alongside NUS to negotiate, etc. And then the second one will read UHISA should work alongside NUS to hold consultations with students.
Thank you. And obviously we've just voted in favour of the amendment, so there will be some amendments to the amendment about how that fits in. So Rachel, taking on board Elsa's point, can we just have a quick...
Yeah, I wrote it down because it's easy.
And we'll just compare that to the amendment, and then we'll move on. Has anyone got any other amendments for later motions that I can take in now that anyone's dying to mention? No? Okay, because we will, obviously, time. We're now on
the UHISA believes transport in the Highlands, particularly at academic partners, can be expensive and irregular, affecting students' ability to study. UHISA believes 2 would disappear.
Mostly.
And you would have the resolves would change. So it would be.
So basically it would be as it was before, but we just work alongside NUS.
This line has been removed and replaced by.
So in that instance,
So
I
it
would
would be
propose
UHISA
we just go with these as part of the amendment. UHISA should work alongside NUS to hold consultations. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, can you just phrase that again?
Yeah.
Make sure, if someone wants to just make sure everyone knows what this amendment is. So, UHISA Resolves 1 will remain as it is, as to support the NUS transport research to get a national solution, ensuring that the Highlands and Islands are factored in. However, UHISA Resolves 2 would be amended to UHISA should work alongside NUS to hold consultations with students to assess the impact to students of poor travel. Okay, so we're just going to vote quickly on that. So, Elsa, do you want 15 seconds just to put the points across, or are you happy that you've already done it?
Well, just what I kind of said there, that I felt that listening to what everyone was saying, that kind of pulled together. Totally awesome. Yes. So that's basically what I have to say. Is just that I thought that kind of covered everything, because that brings NUS in. But it also says that UHISA is the driving seat. It kind of changes the first one from being slightly less sounding like opinion to being balanced. To say it can be expensive, it can be irregular, but you know.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Does anybody want 15 seconds to speak against this amendment? I think it actually builds on the first one, so I'm not sure that there's necessarily going to look to contention here. But does anybody want to speak against this? Okay, should we just go straight to the vote then and just see, is everyone in favour of Elsa's additional amendment?
11 and is it Claire? Have you got your hand up?
Yeah. 5, 6.
Pete, is your hand up?
No, but one of them for Lewis.
Yeah. Hold on, put your hands up in BC and I'll count them. 1.
Just so you know, Pete, there's 2 Pete's out on BC. Just to make things more confusing.
28.
Grant, those against, please. No. And
Are they voting against?
Are you clear then?
this is against the amendment, second amendment.
No.
Are you against the amendment, Claire? No.
No.
That's okay.
Okay, so we have none against, and anyone abstaining from the second amendment. Vote.
Oh, we're getting on tonight, right?
Right, I know. Right, okay, then in that case, that second amendment is passed, and we're going to return to the overall voting for the motion in a moment. Do we have anyone who wants to speak against the motion? Okay, so everyone's delighted with all the amendments. In that case, if everyone's happy, we'll go straight to the vote for the overall motion and have all those in favour of the motion as a whole, as it stands now with amendments.
Seventeen.
26.
26. And those against the overall motion, please.
Against the overall motion?
Very slow.
Nobody.
And any abstaining?
2.
Okay, thanks. In that case, that motion is passed.